For this one, almost as a matter of habit, I put a what you can do, even though it deals with Trump and the courts. Now, normally, we've been hands off in that regard because once things get to the courts, you know, it doesn't help us to try to interfere. It actually hurts things. In this case, however, I was feeling extra petty. So I'll point out that the what you can do of this whole story is to call Merrick Garland a bum. It's not going to help anything. It can't retroactively make him have done a better job. It's a waste of your time and energy. It'll just make me feel better. I just don't like Merrick Garland, and I want him to feel worse as a person. It's petty. It's pointless. This is the only one that is true of, but it is the case, and I want you to be aware of it at the very least. Here's the deal. Trump has yet to hand over all the classified documents. This is from a couple days back. Incredible. It's a story by Tori Otten in the New Republic. Look who Trump may have given classified info to now. A former Mar-a-Lago employee has revealed that Donald Trump shared information on the classified documents he kept after leaving the presidency with anyone he felt like. Brian Butler, who worked for Trump for 20 years, shared the explosive information with CNN's Caitlin Collins Monday night. When Trump was indicted for keeping classified documents at his Florida resort, Butler was identified in the indictment as Trump Employee 5. Butler has not been charged. At one point, Collins asked Butler if he ever saw Trump carelessly throwing around national security information. Butler said the most egregious instance he saw was right after Trump met with Australian billionaire Anthony Pratt. The oligarchs throughout the world, I feel, are the enemy. If people are describing your wealth and it starts with a B, enemy. Unless they are actively fighting to undo their own power, enemy. Pratt, a cardboard and recycling company CEO, is the third richest man in Australia. The news program 60 Minutes Australia reported in October that it had obtained audio recordings of Pratt describing his extraordinary dealings with Trump. During one conversation, Trump allegedly told Pratt two highly classified details about U.S. nuclear submarines. Let me go back and say that again. The former president was running his mouth about how U.S. nuclear subs work. I will point out that Russia was recently bragging about how their nuclear subs were better than our nuclear subs. Isn't that interesting? Now, I don't know if that's true. In fact, I doubt very much that you would fare much better on a Russian sub of any build than you would on Titanic 3. But I do believe that Russia was running their mouths about this because general knowledge of U.S. nuclear capability was out and about. Trump allegedly told Pratt details about U.S. nuclear submarines, how many nuclear warhead each sub carried, and how close a vessel could get to a Russian sub before it was detected. Now to get that information, the Russians don't need to pressure Trump or any American. All they need is to get Pratt drunk. Pratt reportedly shared that information with about 45 other people. Although he has not been charged with wrongdoing in the case, he was interviewed twice by special counsel Jack Smith, who has led the probe into Trump's actions. Butler provided more details on Monday on Pratt's exchange with Trump, which occurred in the first half of 2021. He finishes his meeting with the former president, gets in the car, and his chief of staff says, "How did the meeting go?" Pratt just says, "He told me," and it would be U.S. military classified information. when he told him about Russian submarines and U.S. submarines, Butler said. But Butler said that Pratt had raised red flags to him years before that meeting because the billionaire was paying thousands, even millions of dollars to host events at Mar-a-Lago. Here's a guy that's just buying access, Butler said. So look, I'm trying to recall how many stories I did when this channel first started, just about how it took too long to get Trump in the legal system. I think I did multiple streams just going over every one of Trump's uncharged crimes and how close we were to the statute of limitations on them. This is why. Just like our own daily lives don't grind to a halt because other tragic events are happening around the world. Trump getting charged for the crimes he committed in 2015, it's not stopping him from doing crimes now, this afternoon. It's insane that he's walking around free right now. He has demonstrated he is untrustworthy, and these cases revolve around U.S. war secrets. Until we're damn sure that we have got everything back from him that we should have, until we are certain he hasn't been spilling his guts to every enemy of the U.S. that he can find to sell a ticket to Mar-a-Lago to, his ass should be in jail. You know, if you have somebody who is credibly accused of trying to murder their ex, and they're found on their hiding outside their ex's door, in between the date they're charged and the trial, it would not be unreasonable to take that person and hold them in jail until the trial, because they've demonstrated they don't have a respect for the law. They are dangerous to be left out. That's Trump. Except he's a conservative. He's thought of as rich, whether or not that's actually true. He may just be a pet to rich people. And he is a former member of the ruling class. And so they're terrified. They're just terrified to apply any laws to him, because that means laws apply to them, in theory. Here's what you can do about this. Just write Merrick Garland and tell him he's a disgrace for having taken this long to act after a coup was attempted in the United States. He's a disgrace. He should quit. He's unworthy of the job he has. Any replacement will be fine. He should quit. Don't waste your energy. If I'm giving you honest advice here, I've put that what you can do in the description, just for my own petty blowing off of steam. Just because I wrote him earlier and said, you're a bum. You're not good at this job. You don't deserve it. You should do the decent thing and hand it over to somebody who's interested in protecting the American people. But that was therapeutic. It won't accomplish anything. Even if he did that, it's not going to make things better. It'll be about a week of headlines, and then no one will care. It is purely retroactive. But if you find that news like this makes you furious, and you're champing at the bit to do something, anything, that is what you can do. Let the courts handle Trump now. Frustrating as it is, we have to. That's how it works. We don't interfere with that. But if you feel the anger, and you want to vent it somewhere, that's where you vent it. You tell Merrick Garland he's a see you next Tuesday, because he is. And we still have the right to say such things, if that's the way we feel. That's what I did, and I offer it to you too. Purely therapeutic.